Hey guys, Redwood Boy back here with you. I'm gonna make a quick video here on Monday. Show a quick little score I picked up here. Secondary market, just off a local person, not actually off of a store. Great little score though. These NTR bars, these old Year of the Goat, Year of the Snake, Year of the Monkey, 2013, 14, 15, 16. Really love these things. Been buying them since they first came out. The first ones I started getting was in about 2012 or 2011, I believe. Really like these. They are actually pretty collectible for just being kind of a generic thing produced every year. It used to be made by these guys, and if you know the story on these guys, they're not around anymore to make these guys. So I don't know. I'll have to do a little more research and see. I don't know. I think maybe 2016, maybe 2017. I'm not sure what year that all went down, and they ceased production or got completely shut down, and then ceased all production. But this is the last one that I have is 2016. But really like these. These are really nice. These ones are all still in the plastic, which is nice. Got a great design to them all. Really well thought out bars. I really do like these. I wish I could get more of them. But they got a pretty high premium on them now if you can find them. These just happen to be all local for somebody who just was trying to get rid of them, so you're not paying the crazy high collector, can't get high premiums on them like you would on eBay or something like that. But just a few little of these. Got 4.9s Royal Canadian Mint here. A couple more of these NTR years, 2016s, and a Provident. Nothing fancy, just secondhand, used, dinged up, beat up, but it's bullion's bullion. Can't beat it. What we got here? International trade accepted everywhere. There you go, right there. 3.9's fine. That will be accepted everywhere when the paper money is not accepted anywhere. Oh, that's a good feeling. And a couple of A-mark bars. Nothing fancy. It's weird that they have the place for the serial number, but no serial number. I mean, they are real. I went and had them checked on the Sigma tester, so they're all legit, so I'm not worried about that. But even the other ones that I have don't have any serial numbers, even the places where they do have, obviously they minted a place, or in the mold had a place for the serial number and didn't put one in there. Royal Canadian has a serial number on it, so that's nice. Well, way to verify it if you ever try to go sell it. But yeah, so right now what I'm really trying to aim for, I haven't really been stacking too much and buying too much lately, just because premiums are pretty crazy, and it's honestly been getting a little bit harder to find locally. This was from an individual, so that was a total different story. But yeah, as you look online, obviously it's getting pretty bare, getting pretty expensive. Getting to the point where I'm thinking about seeing how much I could flip some of my American Eagles for and just trade just for silver, with the premiums that people are willing to buy back, like APMEX willing to pay all that extra for American Eagles. I just want to trade it for silver. If I could get 1.5 ounces of silver or whatever it works out to be per American Eagle, yeah, I'm absolutely going to do it. So I'm going to have to look into that. It was watching some videos this morning and just seeing how much it adds up over time. Just obviously I don't buy American Eagles. I buy 2 a year, like I've stated before, just to keep the collection going. Just some MS70s in the slabs, just something to hand down. But I don't intentionally go out looking for them, trying to find them. The premiums are just too crazy. I'll buy them if the premiums are the same as what I would pay for something like this, which they're not too bad. The place that I usually do most of my shopping, they do charge usually a little bit extra for the Eagles. I haven't bought any there in a long time. But they do actually pay more for the Eagles too, so that's surprising. And I've been dealing with these guys almost a little over 10 years now, and they used to not ever pay full spot or just about, and now they're paying full spot plus a little bit extra. There were some recent change to laws here where the pawn shops don't have to hold on to stuff that they buy, or they don't have to hold on to bullion for 30 days like they used to before, just to file the police reports and do all the necessary legal paperwork. to make sure that's not stolen. They don't have to do that now. So they can literally be buying this off of somebody and be selling it to me right next to me all in the same time. So that helps out greatly for them because they don't have to hold inventory for 30 days. They don't have to speculate, and that way they don't have to pad in so much percentage. It used to be they paid, I think he told me they paid a little bit over 90% a spot and then charged, you know, whatever at percentage above spot. So it left them a nice little gap in the middle in case it really went down, and obviously if it really went up, then even better for them. But now they don't have to do that. Now he doesn't have to hold on to it at all, or it not as long, depending on. So that works out good for me. I like that because he's not trying to hold inventory. He's trying to make a couple bucks per ounce and get it out the door. So that's always nice. But like I said, these were from a person, not a store or coin shop. Don't have any coin shops around here, unfortunately. But it was actually a really good score. I was stoked when he asked. I wasn't really too interested in taking them all, and then once he sent me pictures of what they all were, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll take all of them. I really do like these. Like I said, I've been collecting these since 2012. I think I'd have to go back in there and look and see what ones I got. And even back then, I found some old receipts from back then when I was buying sheets of these things. I think I was paying $14 an ounce, something like that. I'd have to go back and look, but it was like 14, $15 an ounce after all in. That's obviously not having to pay taxes on it if you spend over $1,500. Out here, it's that way. I know a lot of other states are that way too. I'm not sure what the dollar amount is. But here in California, if you spend over $1,500, you don't pay sales tax on it. So that definitely helps. But yeah, it's crazy to go back and look at some of the receipts that I have when buying these from another guy that I used to deal with that was a jeweler. And he just had a really, really good line to bulk bullion dealers. And you just get these by the 9 sheets. There'd be 9 of them in a row, or 3x3s, folded up really nice, super great, love them. These have all been cut up, but I still got some of the other sheets. But yeah, it's just crazy to think how much the prices. It has gone up in a decent amount of time. Like it's a long-term investment thing, long-term holding it. But even then, like how much is that amount of money that I spent gone down in purchasing power in that amount of time? So not only have I made a couple of bucks on the ounces, I haven't lost anything. Even if I broke completely even and got back the same, say 15, 20 bucks, whatever it was, or, it'd be 20 now or above, but, for 20 bucks, I get back the exact same 20 bucks I get back, 10, 11 years later, and that 20 bucks isn't worth 20 bucks what it would be, so it's a great place to just kind of park your money, but you really got to watch the premiums on that and your dollar cost averaging. That's why I like getting stuff like this from local people. They know that if they go into any place else, they're going to get, lowballed really bad or get below spot because they got to make some money. So they'll get a better price for me, a little bit fairer than going to the local places and all that. So it all works out. But just, nothing fancy, just generic secondary market, but they are nice. I like these Provident ones by OPM. Nice and pretty. I haven't seen too many of these lately. And then these NTR bars, got a couple of these in the plastic too. Some of these, I don't know if they actually sell them, but I have seen these listed for pretty ridiculous prices just because of the drama behind the company and all that. But I don't know, it's just bullion. That's all it is. And then, of course, the highly recognizable Royal Canadian Mint 4.9's fine. Gotta love it. I really like those. And then one random SilverTowne, still in the plastic. Nice design, nothing fancy. Their usual logo. And then this one. International Trade Bar, accepted everywhere. Got a couple of rounds that got some pretty interesting things, like official money of the future or whatever. These little rounds that were printed back in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. Or world trade currency, got a bunch of those little coins and stuff like that. So it's interesting to even see just the progression of what people printed on the bars over time. You know, going back 30, 40 years when they made some of these ones, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever it was, just the way that they looked at it and viewed it and just, you know, put it on there, you know, or got a couple of, say, like International Monetary Fund or whatever it says on it, or not the IMF, but you know what I mean, like just the World Trade, that it's good globally, you know, like the people actually recognize it as a real store of value and actually real money. Obviously, long before the current situation, the debt crisis and everything else that's going on, but yeah, that's just a little grab that I did today. It's kind of what I've been going for. Now that I'm stacking, I did looking kind of just going for constitutional if I could find it at a fair price, or kilo bars, or I really just like the tens. They stack really easy. They don't take up a ton of room. And if you really, I mean, I don't want to get rid of them, but if you have to get rid of them, it's a good price point. You know, it's not a ton of money to buy one. It's not a big deal. Anybody will pretty much take them anywhere. It's not like hundreds where somebody might not take them, or if you don't even want to sell the, you know, if you do have to sell and you don't need the whole amount of like a 100-ounce bar, but that's all you got. I do think if you're a serious stacker and really trying to get as many ounces under your belt as you can, I do think a good, you know, dozen or two 100-ounce bars is a good solid foundation, and then work your way down. Once I've done that, you know, once I did that, I got, you know, I just started just grabbing. I mean, I'll buy it all. I don't really care. It's all silver. I'll take all of it. It doesn't matter. But I don't seek out 100-ounce bars. I do have somebody locally that will call me whenever they come in, and I'll usually go down there and grab them, which is kind of nice because it's been one guy that's been selling them to him. So I've been getting sequential serial numbers of Royal Canadian Mint 100-ounce bars. So that's cool too. I don't have any plans on selling them, but you know, maybe in the future, if I do, you know, maybe somebody will care of having 4 or 5 or 6, you know, sequential serial number bars. You know, it's kind of neat. It's people like that stuff, you know, same with dollar bills and sequential serial numbers and repeaters and radars and all kinds of stuff like that, birthday notes and whatever else. So it's another little thing that sometimes you might be able to squeeze some more money out of. If you ever do go online to try to sell them, obviously that's, you know, trying to sell 4 or 5 100-ounce bars. It's going to be a very small group of people that are going to be willing to take that, especially online. But, you know, no, I don't have any plans on selling, but it's cool to have. You know, it's not like I'm paying extra for it because they're sequential. They just happen to be coming in that way over the last year or two. So I'll take it. You know, I like it. It's kind of cool, neat little thing. I'm not paying extra for it, so even if I don't get anything extra for it, it's cool to have, you know. So nice little pour lines in here, and also shot too. Like I've been grabbing up a bunch of just silver shot. Pretty good price point on it. A lot of places, fairly low premiums per se, depending on where you're getting it at. Just because there's no manufacturing costs added into it. I've never tried to sell any of it anywhere, so that'd be my only concern, is that you'd probably have to be somewhere to selling it to somebody that knows you and you've dealt with for a long time. I mean, I don't think I would have a problem going into the places that I frequent locally and sell it, but I don't know if they'd be interested in it. I don't know if a lot of people would take it. I could see that being a problem and them trying to test every single little BB, you know, but I buy it because I like it. You know, if it ever comes down to a barter situation or something like that, or, you know, I'll throw it in a smelter and pour myself some little bars or something interesting, you know, if I ever want to get into selling some of the stuff that I got. You know, it's like the sterling, taking it and dissolving it down and getting your silver back out of it, taking the copper and removing the copper out of it and melting it back down. Only problem with that is just have to get somebody to assay it to prove that it is what you say that it is. That said, I guess if you did do a bar, you might be able to do it. I have some older bars that have pretty much no markings on them whatsoever. But you can tell. I mean, especially a coin shop or a pawn shop or a bullion dealer, they can tell. There's ways to, you know, you can't really fake it once it comes down to it. The weight and the density and all that. With the 100-ounce bars, even the Sigma tester, unless you have the second tier one, the fancier one. It's kind of hard, even an angle hard. It'll go through it, but like I have one that's Crabtree mint bar. It's probably a good 2 inches thick or better, and it won't go all the way through that. But I can tell by the weight. I can go off the weight, and it tells me what it says on it. I weigh it, convert it to troy ounces, and I know exactly what it is, and that's what it's supposed to be. So if it's not, somebody went to a good amount of trouble and did a very good job to fake it. But I'm not worried about that at all. They're all reputable people that I deal with, so not a concern. But just something to think about if you're planning on pouring coins yourself. Is if you ever do try to sell them, most places will want to know that it is 999 or 49s or whatever it is. But that said, you can also sell 90% just as easy. You just get a little bit less for it, but you don't have to do any work. So still a big fan of constitutional, junk silver, sterling silver, anything silver really. I'll take it all, broken jewelry, all that stuff. That's just always nice to melt down a shot and whatever else. So, but yeah, I just want to make a quick little video. Got some cool ones. We got 13, 14, 16, and we got 15 and 16. So I'll have to look it up and see. I think this is the last year that they made them, though. I haven't seen any since then. Any other ones since Year of the Monkey. But since NTR is not around, that would make sense. So I wish they still made them. That'd be cool. And now they're pretty expensive when you look online for them, if you can't even find them. The only place I've seen them at all in the last 6 months or year is eBay. And then it's usually somebody with just like one or two of them, and they definitely want way more than what even high premiums are on other bars. They definitely fall into the category of they're not vintage, but they fall into that same category as far as collector or vintage silver as far as price wise and premiums go. That said, if these were at those prices, I wouldn't have bought them. They're great, they're cool, but it's not about that. It's about the ounces in there. I don't really care what the picture of is on there. It doesn't matter to me. But if I ever do go to try to sell them later on, it'd be nice to know that I'll probably get a little bit more than just your standard spot, or the little bit over spot that I would get if I went to a coin shop or a bullion dealer or something like that, or a pawn shop or whatever. That if I did do it online, I'd have to pay fees and whatever. But right now you can get a 10-ounce bar for, $220, $250-ish, right around in there, depending on where, who, and how many you're getting. Looked up a couple of these, and they're $300, $360, $350, $390, $425 I saw. So, who knows what they're going to get out of them, but they must be getting something close to that if they're willing to sell them. Or they're listing them at that price. Or maybe they're just like the crazy person on eBay that's got one of these on there for $1,400. Hit me up if anybody wants one of these for $1,400 and do it for $1,000. There you go. I'll trade you ounces for ounces. $1,000 worth of ounces for this bar. No, I'm just kidding. It was crazy to see that price, but I don't know. They say that they're super rare, but let them watch this video. It's not rare enough that I'd put gloves on or even keep it in the plastic. So it's a cool little NTR bar. Neat little piece of history. Look into them. A little bit of drama behind those guys doing some shady stuff. So yeah, just want to make a quick little video here. We had a little bit of movement today. The gold silver ratio still hovering above 85, but we're holding steady above 19. So I think we found our new floor for a little while at least. I think we're up. I think it's up 4 cents or something like that when I looked a little bit ago. So it's steadily coming up. It's steadily going up. And then especially if you look, and I don't know if you do any kind of stocks or anything like that, but if you go out in like the SLV, if you go out 6 months, 9 months, or a year on any options, like the demand is insane, but the volume is zero. There was one I was looking at, there was 53,000 open interest and zero volume. Nobody was selling puts for silver. So that tells me that 53,000 people think that it's going to go up and zero people think it's going to go down. So That's about what I think too. Glad I got mine out for a while, and I've had them for a while. But be careful with those, because I have no idea what will happen if that number ever gets broken, where they realize that the physical does not match the paper demand. All those paper contracts. I don't know how that'll play out. So tread lightly on that. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but I think it is a good bet. I think that we all know that it's going to go up. We all know that there's not enough available for what is needed, and with all the countries importing and not exporting, there is less and less and less available every single day, and that's just a fact. And rising fuel costs are just going to make it go up, and there's just no way around it. All the other metals that, this usually being mostly a byproduct metal when it's mined, no, the other metals, they definitely need them: aluminum, copper, lead, all that stuff. And this is usually a lot of times a byproduct of it. And people are going to still, they need those. They have to have it. This is the second most used commodity, or metal like that. So it's the best conductor and all that. So all this new electric vehicle stuff, all that stuff. So I don't think it's a bad play, not at all. I think it's a good idea to get as much as you possibly can whenever you can. Even going up, I think it's still a good buying opportunity. Honestly, I think anything. I got silver in my stick right now that I paid close to $30 an ounce for when it was going up there during COVID and all that, and I'm fine with that. I wish I could have bought it when it was down at 12 and people actually were selling it for around there. I'd have backed the truck up, but nobody could sell it for that cheap. It hadn't been that cheap in so long. But once manufacturing gets back online, that uses such a large amount of silver, and there's just no way around it. There's no substitute for it. So only time will tell, but I think we know what'll happen. So all right, well, you guys have a good night, and if you like the content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you know anything more about these. If you've seen any that are past 2016, I'm going to go do some little bit of research right now on them. I'd like to get some more of them, but those high premiums are just a killer, so probably won't unless I stumble across another deal like this. But all right, you guys have a good night. Keep stacking.